Hello my friends and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. As expected, citizens from various countries in Europe start protesting and demand the change of course of their countries and change of the government. In this case, I would like to cover an article discussing the Czech Republic. And I looked over the article a little bit, which I usually don't do, just to see, well, you protest because why? And I think that the author of this article is trying to, I don't want to say mislead, but let's say they want to mislead the reasons why the protesters are in the street. And there's not like 1,200 protesters, but it's thousands. And what's very interesting is that in Czech Republic, they don't riot. They just protest. Very interesting and very different than in United States or in other countries in Europe where you have certain kind of neighborhoods, if you know what I mean. So, very interesting. I always admire the Czech people for being civilized, I would say. This article comes from Associated Press. Tens of thousands protest against Czech government. Tens of thousands of protesters from the far right and far left joined forces to rally against the country's pro-Western Czech government in the capital on Sunday. So how do they know it's only the far right and far left? How does this Associated Press know that it's only those? I see a picture here, and I see, only thing that I see are flags, people, and flags with a flag of Czech Republic. I don't see anything that would indicate at first glance that they are, I see old, I see young. I don't see anything indicating that they're far left and far right. And even if this reporter would go and ask, let me tell you the amount of people, the number of people that are involved in this, I was about to say riot, protest. So, police estimated that the crowd at Prague's central Wenceslas Square numbered around 70,000. 70,000 people in downtown or in the capital. You know, imagine if you don't have look at a soccer game, a big soccer game, and look at the audience and the stands. Now that's 70,000, 50,000, 60,000. I don't look, for instance, at Barcelona or Real Madrid. And those are what, 80, 90,000 spectators over there. In downtown, have you been to Prague? I've been to Prague in downtown about, I don't know, like 5 times. I know how it is. It's like in Vienna, the same thing. It's just short streets, and that's it. It's not the square is not a square where you have, a mile long and a mile and a half wide. It's just an old medieval square. That's what it is. So imagine how you fit 70,000 people in the streets, in the downtown or center, how we call it in Europe. Some of the groups represented at the demonstration included the major anti-migrant populist Freedom and Direct Democracy Party and the Communist Party. The protesters demanded the resignation of the current coalition government. I told you what's good with a coalition, quote unquote good. You have parties that have different political platforms, different ideologies. When it's about talking about, let's say, social issues, about army, about immigration, about, let's say, education, one party can have a very different view on how they solve how the education should be conducted in their country. Then another one. And imagine you put these parties together. Not only five, I think these are five or coalition parties, I think, from another article. Now, how can you have them together, work together? Because when I vote for a candidate or a party, I vote for whatever that stands for, that person stands for, and the platform, the 5-6 things that are the main things, the pillars of that party. Now another one has another ones. So when those guys are gonna go to power, they made this alliance, and go to power, I will have to put up with people that I despise politically. I don't like that, and they are together with my people. And how can they do it? Because when they go over there, okay, let's do it. I say, okay, I'm gonna be in charge of the immigration. You put someone in the immigration that's the opposite of what I voted for, and that guy, the government will make decisions based on that party in the coalition's view on immigration. And then the other way around, these guys are gonna have a medical system which is gonna be my party that I voted for, and the other guys are gonna be, what is going on here? What's going on with these guys? It's against, so you don't satisfy. You can't say, well, you take a little bit from here, you take a little bit from here. I don't vote for that. I vote for what is like in life, you have to accept the neighbor's shit. No, I don't have to. I move. But if I move, I'm going to have another neighbor. No, that's why I have my house here. My things are right here. The same with the neighbor. The neighbor has his own things. He doesn't want me coming over there and telling him what to do, because we're in the same neighborhood. That's why I vote for that. So these coalition governments are just a mess. All right, so and they also the protesters demanded the resignation of the current coalition government led by conservative Prime Minister Petr Fiala. He's just in charge of, but the ministers are not conservative, are conservative, liberal, whatever the coalition is formed from, criticizing it for a number of issues, including its Western-oriented policies. It's not Western-oriented. I think it's more about you guys are just the vassal state of certain states over there in the West. It's not about, oh, we want to be with Russia, but that's how this weasel wants to make it, I guess. They condemn the government for its support of the sanctions against Russia. Thank you very much. Over its war in Ukraine, and accuse it of not being able to tackle soaring energy prices. Thank you very much. The demonstrators also criticized NATO and the European Union and 27-state bloc to cut greenhouse gas emissions and reach climate neutrality. Again, the country belonged to both organizations. Well, the one with NATO and European Union. Yeah, they don't want to be the female dog of these organizations, basically. And then he said, Fiala said everyone has a right to demonstrate, but said those protesting are expressing pro-Russia views. And is it illegal? Since when? You might disagree, so, and I'm quoting, that are not in the interest of the Czech Republic and our citizens. Well, if they protest for themselves, for things that you did to hurt someone that didn't really care. So he's making the connection in the wrong way, because he's a weasel, he's a politician. He said, well, we need to place sanctions on that country that we don't care for, and you get hurt. And if you say that, hey, I get hurt, you're supporting Russia? No, I don't support me being hurt. That's the first thing. And your decisions cause me to get hurt, not liking my life, not having a good life, because you decide that we have to intervene in that situation based on what the Western big guys tell you to do. And I don't want that. And I have the right to say it. And I'm going to move you, get you out. But no, he says they're weasel. They try to put a moral stamp on you. No. You are hurt, and you are supposed to be hurt. And you have to accept it and be happy. Remember, don't own anything and be happy. Now you also add to that, be hurt, don't own anything, be hurt, like it, and be happy. Otherwise, you are with Russia. This is how these guys are telling, and that's not how the situation is. The situation is that you, through your policies, ordered by those guys over there, determined by those guys over there, hurt me. I don't care about those guys. We could have stayed outside of it, but you guys decided no, and it hurts me. I don't want to fight for your wars or the bankers' wars or the energy companies or the war industry. No, I want to fight for my country, for me, for my children, for my family, because I die. Okay, I don't care about the industry. I die. I'm the one who lives. And I want to be looking, oh, I'm 80 or 70 or 60. What did I do? I didn't have anything because I hurt Russia in the process. I don't give a damn about that. I don't care if those guys exist or don't exist. But you insert yourself because you're a vassal state. And our citizens. I'm a citizen. I say what I want. I want to live my life. I want to be happy. That's my goal. I don't want to be hurt. Because being happy is just a blah, 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 blah. It's an ideal. You can't be happy. Avoid pain as much as possible. And then that will result in in tranquility. That's it. When you say pursue happiness. Okay, I understand that. Find a unicorn in the woods. Go. It's not like that. It's not being happy. It's not avoiding pain as much as you can, because you're going to have pain. I'm not taking the Buddhist stand here, but unfortunately that's how it is. You know. And then you say, well, desire causes pain. Of course. Because if you want too many things, you can't achieve too many things. So then you have pain by not being able to achieve those things. Siddhartha Gautama was right, which is slash quote-unquote Buddha, the first Buddha. So the Czech Republic firmly supports Ukraine in its battle against Russia's invasion and has donated arms, including heavy weapons, nothing wrong with that, to the Ukrainian armed forces, nothing wrong with that. The government is planning to call an emergency meeting of EU countries next week to seek a united approach to the energy crisis. The Czech Republic currently holds the bloc's rotation presidency. He has no problem. They hold the presidency. It's not like they are the bosses. You know what they are? It's one guy sitting on a chair and he calls on people, the next speakers, and he looks, you got 5 minutes. Okay, your time is up. Next is France. France, you can speak. That's the presidency. It's an organizer. It's a guy who just is a female dog of the European Union, organizing and saying who can speak now, who's next on the list. That's what it is. A timekeeper. That's the presidency. It's not like I'm in charge. I'm telling you what to say. I'm the president. I mean, I've watched many sessions and many videos on what is this presidency. Basically, that's what it is. You're just an organizer. That's what you are. That's your power. And then the other guys tell you what to do. So regarding that, yes, they riot. They're sick and tired of being treated like little kids by a government that is on the payroll of those guys that are at the payroll of people that we don't know. This is what it is. We know the interest, but we can say, hey, Tom Jones is, the guy in the banking system. Tom Jones, Michael Jackson, Elvis, and Bruce Dickinson. No, you don't go like that. You don't know who those are. You don't know those guys. You know the banking system, if you go that far. And they say, oh, we got the Bilderberg group. Oh, yeah, we got the Davos group. Oh, we got the Masonry group. Blah, blah, blah. Blah, blah, blah. Everything goes to this. If you got this, you got power. Why? Because you can buy things. You get involved in things. And if you got this, then you eliminate all those guys' power by, going, hey, guy, you got the money? Okay, I don't want your money. Do what I want you to do. I can force you to do. You can't force me. You have to employ people with this to force me to do something. That's how it is. At the bottom, we are what we are. Animals. And animals act with force, brute force. We try to pretend we are civilized, and that's why we create rules and conventions. But then at the bottom, we end up that. If we can't interact like this, we're going to interact like this. That's how it is. You don't believe me? Look, everything ends up to that. Everything ends up to that. If this doesn't work, what's going on? What's the next step? And when we get into scuffles, then you see who we really are. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Kudos to the Czech. It's not the far right, far left. It's the citizens, but the weasels want to portray that way, and the weasel want to portray that these two just are on the Russian side, and therefore everybody else. No, it's 70,000 people in a population of what? 3 million, 4 million, how many, is something like that, 5 million at the most, I think, Czech Republic, 70,000 people, that's a lot of people in the capital. Anyway, thank you very much for being with me again today. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just.